Hi, my name is Thomas, and I'm from Germany. Many years ago, my spoken English was pretty bad. I had a lot of trouble expressing myself in English. But then, I found a way to improve my spoken English. I managed to become fluent while living in Germany. The methods I used can be done at home from anywhere in the world. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can do the same. First, let me tell you the most important secret. To speak English well, you need to build unconscious knowledge in English. Let me repeat that. If you want to speak English fluently, you need a high level of unconscious knowledge in English. So, what is unconscious knowledge? It's the ability to do something without conscious thought, the ability to perform a task automatically. It's like riding a bicycle, playing a musical instrument, or speaking your native language. Unconscious knowledge is automatic. To use the knowledge, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to focus your attention on it. That's why you can ride a bicycle and talk to someone at the same time. You don't focus on the movement of your legs, they move automatically. Musicians can sing and play at the same time because, with enough practice, the skill becomes automatic. Think about how you speak your first language. When you speak, do you think about grammar, syntax, or sentence structure? No. Yet, everything you say is grammatically correct. Why is that? Because you have a high level of unconscious knowledge in your native language. So, if you want to speak English well, you need to increase your unconscious knowledge in English. If you do that, speaking English will feel natural and automatic, just like your first language. How do you acquire unconscious knowledge? Unfortunately, this is difficult to do. The problem is, this type of knowledge cannot be taught. It cannot be acquired by just studying grammar books or watching grammar lessons on YouTube. Study gives you conscious knowledge, not automatic knowledge. To use conscious knowledge, you have to think about it and focus your attention on it. This doesn't work in real-life conversation because you have to respond immediately. Many people love studying grammar and think that will make them speak better. But what they don't realize is that the knowledge they gain this way is conscious, not automatic, and not very useful for speaking. Speaking a language involves two parts of the brain, the conscious part and the unconscious, automatic part. When speaking your native language, the conscious part focuses on what you want to communicate, while the unconscious handles grammar. This makes speaking fluent and effortless. But for grammar-focused learners, the conscious part tries to handle both content and grammar, impossible to do well at the same time. That's why so many students who know grammar rules still speak poorly. Instead of learning English through study, you need to learn as you learned your first language. This is called unconscious learning. It means you're unaware that you're learning. The learning happens outside your awareness. For example, when you listen to a conversation in English, your goal is to understand. As you focus on information, your unconscious brain is learning English behind the scenes, grammar, vocabulary, and more. This is how you learned your first language, by listening repeatedly, focusing on meaning, not rules. So, when you learn English unconsciously, you get automatic knowledge. When you study consciously, you only get non-automatic knowledge. There are two key methods to build unconscious knowledge, the same two I used. Listening. Input-driven speaking practice. Let's start with listening. Listening is popular for learning English, but is it necessary? If you're focused only on speaking, why spend time listening? The answer: it's impossible to become fluent without a lot of listening. Regular listening makes it easy to improve speaking. English is complex. If you don't listen much, the language will always feel confusing, making speaking difficult. If you listen regularly, the complexity won't confuse you, and speaking will be easier. That's why you need to listen as much as possible. YouTube videos, podcasts, audiobooks, movies, TV shows. If you need subtitles, use English ones, not your native language. If you can do both listening and reading, that's even better. But if you are short on time, focus on listening, which helps you with pronunciation, intonation, and pitch. The type of content you choose matters. The best English content is whatever you enjoy. If you like travel, watch travel videos. If you like business, listen to business podcasts. Don't consume boring content just for practicing English. Otherwise, you'll get bored and lose motivation. For example, I like Japan, so I consume content about Japanese culture and food, or scary stories. I also listen to Harry Potter audiobooks because I enjoy them. Avoid grammar lessons. Focus on content you enjoy. How much time should you spend listening? As much as you can. The more time, the faster your English will improve. You can combine listening with daily activities, working out, chores, commuting, as long as the activities don't require heavy concentration. This way, listening becomes a part of your routine and doesn't need self-discipline. But listening alone isn't enough. Practice is essential. You have to open your mouth and speak. What if you have no one to practice with? Some people talk to themselves, but this has two big problems. First, you only use words you already know, so you don't learn new things. Second, if you make mistakes, you keep making them. Talking with other learners has similar problems. You might learn mistakes or limited vocabulary. That's why, if your speaking needs improvement, focus on input-driven practice. Input-driven speaking practice is where you use English material, videos, podcasts, movies to imitate native speech. This way, you're exposed to correct grammar and new vocabulary and can practice sounding native. Popular method is imitation. Here's how. Find an audio or video of a native speaker. Make sure they don't speak too fast. Listen first to familiarize yourself without speaking. When ready, play and pause after a few words. Repeat out loud, copying words, rhythm, pronunciation, and emotion. As you progress, increase the difficulty, try memorizing and repeating whole sentences. If you can't remember, rephrase in your own words. This builds improvisation skills. The key is to always practice with input, ensuring regular exposure to proper English. So, that's how you increase unconscious knowledge and become fluent. Lots of listening and lots of input-driven practice. Good luck!